Welcome to this week's Help Desk with Joe, and with me as always, Joe.
We're back.
We're back. Each week we come back, and Joe, you bring a lot of tips to help people save money, make their lives more efficient, help them with their technology issues, because as we know, technology is wonderful, but there's always issues.
Oh, yeah.
Always issues. So this week, pretty good topic, helping people avoid getting taken by misconception and just lies or whatever it might be. So let's talk a little bit about this week's topic. Go ahead and introduce
This week's topic is the One Ring scam. I know this has been getting a lot of news coverage here lately, so we're going to try to add a little more coverage and answer a couple of questions, make it a little easier for people to understand what's going on.
Get to the technical aspect of it so people will understand, because it's tough, it's hard. People are always curious. Curiosity killed the cat. And
exactly.
It also kills those folks that fall into the One Ring scam.
Well, actually, this will kill your wallet more than anything. So.
There you go. That's even worse.
Exactly.
Leave the cat alone, or go get the cat, leave the wallet alone.
Exactly.
Yeah, all right. So what does that mean? I know a lot of people are saying, what is the One Ring scam? I have no idea what it means. I haven't seen it on the news. What is it?
Okay.
So,
the One Ring scam has affected a lot of people's cell phones. What they do is they just have a random number generate and call, let's say, your cell phone, and it'll ring once, just enough to get your phone to pick up that number, and they won't answer. I mean, if you try to answer it, there's no bill on the other end.
Right.
So what they want you to do is actually call that number back.
Yep.
So when you call that number back, they'll charge you like an unknown amount, maybe $1 just to connect, and then they want to keep you on the phone as long as they can to charge more money to your account.
It's adding up like a number that you would call that charges you 900 numbers, other numbers, right. So curiosity is what gets you.
Exactly.
So don't call it. Okay, got you. So that's what it means. How does it affect you? And I know you said, you briefly talked about how they get money from you. How does that really work?
Well, how that works is you're initializing the call, so it'd be almost like the 900 numbers where you're making the call, so it's automatically going to start hitting your account with the charges.
So the key is when you call, you're agreeing to call that number, and then you accept those charges that go with it.
Exactly.
All right. I know we'll get to how to avoid it, but are there any other technical aspects involved in that? Like you said, if someone calls and your phone rings and you happen to pick it up, you're a quick answerer, what happens?
Well, usually it's literally just one ring. It's actually set to only ring once. There's no way that you could get it.
Okay, so even if you did catch it in time, know that it's still a scam because that's the deal.
Right, and you'll pick it up, and if you do answer it, there will be nobody there.
Nothing there. Okay, so mysterious calls that ring once and have nobody at the other end, scam is on.
Right.
Okay, how do you avoid it?
Well, first thing, I was always told growing up, if it's important, they'll call back later or leave a message. So
there you go.
If it's important, they'll leave a message. Or if you're unsure about the number, don't dial it. Just do a quick search online, do a Google search, type in that phone number, and see what pops up in the results.
And I think the key is, if it's important, they'll call back.
Right.
Don't force the issue and be curious and put yourself in that position.
Right. And a lot of people they look at a number, well, that looks almost familiar to something, or maybe they're applying for a new job, and it could be the potential employer calling, leaving a message. Well, if they was leaving a message, they would have left a message.
Right. And if you need to, I assume you could go call. If it's that important, look up the number directly to the business and call it.
Right.
Yeah, don't fall into the trap. Okay.
Right.
So the technicalities of the trap, is there any way to avoid it other than calling back? Can you block that number, or should you do anything past that?
The easiest thing is just don't call the number, and if you're really curious, just do a Google search or search online for that phone number. It would be the two easiest things to do.
Okay. All right. So getting that mysterious call in the middle of the day, you're not sure, nobody's there, don't call back.
Right.
If you do call back and you get taken by the scam, is there anything you can do about it?
I'm not sure at this point. It'd be something that you'd have to contact your cell phone provider and work with them and see if there's any outlets on that.
But really, since you're calling them back, you're at fault.
Right.
Is that okay? All right. Is there anything else anybody needs to know about the One Ring scam?
Just be careful of who calls you or who you try to call back, I guess.
Yeah. Be careful on that end and avoid calling back. All right. So once again, someone calls, they hang up. There's no answer for sure if you happen to pick it up, or if it's just one ring. Do not call that number back.
Right. If it's not a number that's in your address book, search it out before you even call them back.
How widespread is this?
It's a nationwide thing. This is actually on one of the government websites I checked out earlier. So, I mean, there's a lot of news that's getting picked up on this subject.
So you might say, well, I'll never get hit because I'm just a random person in Rome County, West Virginia. Not the case.
Well, and that's the funny thing is, that virus scam call that we done a couple shows ago, a lot of people saying, oh, it won't come around here because I was hearing it in a lot of big cities. Well, it's starting to come in here. We just got a call last night from a neighbor said, hey, we got hit with that call.
Really?
Yes.
So it's in Roane County, and
yes.
people
So I mean,
right.
don't think living in a rural area that you're not acceptable to it, because if you've got a cell phone, you're acceptable to it.
Okay. So there we go. The one-ring cell phone scam. You know what it means. You know how to avoid it. Joe's giving you all the safety tips and warnings. That's pretty straightforward, really.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty simple. Avoid that at all costs. If
Exactly.
it's important, they'll call back. I agree with your philosophy. If people need to get a hold of you, anything outside this, you know, any other technical problems, how do they get a hold of you, Joe?
You give us a call at our offices at 304-927-3588, or check out our website at amdigitaltechnologies.com, or be like Dave and like our Facebook page.
You betcha. Like their Facebook page. Get those daily specials coming automatically. Make up your wish list.
Yes. I'm waiting for that wish list to say go ahead.
Yes.
I'm waiting for a purchase under that wish list.
Order.
Yeah,
I'm with
exactly.
you. So be friends with them on Facebook. Remember, shop locally. Joe and Cena McDonald, A&M Digital Technology, hosting all our shows, converting all our shows over to podcasts. And
on YouTube. We're everywhere.
Editing and producing all our shows for Patch 21. So awesome deal. Shop locally. Anything technical you have. Go back and watch all our shows, too. I know we got to be closing in on 50 here sometime
We're
soon.
getting close.
So we're getting close to 50. We're upgrading and redoing our studio in here, so exciting things to come.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure you check out all the shows, and if you have any questions, get a hold of Joe or Cena at A&M Digital Technologies. All right, this show hosted by A&M Digital Technologies. We'll be back next week with more tips to save you money, keep you from getting pirated and scammed, and make your life better and more
Just
efficient.
a little easier.
With technology. All right, thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Next week.